The Manhattan District Attorney, Cy Vance, launched an investigation into the Trump Organization back in 2018 after it was revealed that the former president paid hush money to the adult film star Stormy Daniels.
A lavish property owned by former President Trump appears to be facing fresh scrutiny from Manhattan prosecutors. For the past 18 months, New York District Attorney Cy Vance has been working on a criminal probe into possible bank, tax, and insurance fraud by the former president and his company.
Sex crimes, politics, and money. It's all mixing together in a disturbing series of events involving a Manhattan district attorney. Cy Vance Jr. has been making headlines for not prosecuting Harvey Weinstein when the Hollywood mogul was accused of sexual harassment back in 2015. Critics say financial contributions by Weinstein's lawyers to Vance's campaign could have played a role in the DA's decision.
And now CBS News has learned that Vance is caught up in another controversial situation involving campaign contributions and sexual assault accusations. New York obstetrician Dr. Robert Haddon managed to avoid jail time after he was accused of sexually assaulting as many as 20 of his patients. His lawyers made donations totaling more than $3,000 to Vance's re-election campaign, including one at the height of the case. But the lawyers insist there's no link between the verdict and the donations.
Evelyn Yang has a story so secret she never even shared it with most of her own family. But spending time with her husband, presidential candidate Andrew Yang, on the campaign trail and hearing so much gratitude from voters for talking about son Christopher's autism made her feel newly empowered. It was 2012. She was pregnant with her first baby and found an OBGYN who had a good reputation, Dr. Robert Haddon. Initially, she says her visits were routine, but after a few months, things changed.
It started with inappropriate questions. The examinations became longer, more frequent, and I learned that they were unnecessary. I didn't know that you're not supposed to get an exam every time you went to see the doctor.
Yang says the worst assault happened when she was 7 months pregnant.
I was in the exam room and I was dressed and ready to go, and then at the last minute he kind of made him like an excuse. He said something about, I think you might need a C-section. And he proceeded to grab me over to him and undress me and examine me internally, ungloved. Oh, at that moment, I knew it was wrong. I mean, I knew I was being assaulted.
Nearly 30 women have now accused movie mogul Harvey Weinstein of sexual harassment or assault. His studio fired him. Politicians and Hollywood actors have denounced him. Now a New York DA is defending a decision not to prosecute him. Here's Jerika Duncan.
For the first time since the explosive allegations, TMZ obtained video of Harvey Weinstein outside a home in Los Angeles.
Hold on, Harvey, get in the car.
And under growing pressure, Manhattan District Attorney Cyrus Vance Jr. explained today his decision to not prosecute Weinstein for alleged sexual assault.
If we had a case that we felt we could prosecute and my experts felt we could prosecute against Harvey Weinstein, we would have.
The case stems from an incident back in 2015 when model Ambra Badalana Gutierrez went to New York City police after she claimed Weinstein groped her. Police wired her the next day to see if Weinstein would make a move. The New Yorker obtained the audio.
Yesterday you touched my breast.
Oh, please, I'm sorry. Just come on. I'm used to that. Come on.
Are you used to that?
Yes, come in.
No, but I'm not used to that.
I won't do it again. Come on.
But less than 2 weeks after that encounter, Vance decided to close the case, citing lack of evidence to prove criminal intent. Attorney Caroline Polisi.
They are doing a total mea culpa here, saying, look, had we known that the NYPD was conducting this undercover operation, they should have contacted us and we would have counseled Ms. Gutierrez on exactly what to say in that sting operation in order to get the criminal intent.
Due to the 2-year statute of limitations on misdemeanor sexual assaults, Weinstein could now never be charged criminally for what he allegedly did to Gutierrez.
It looked like it was just another day outside the Manhattan District Attorney's office on Hogan Place, except it wasn't. DA Cyrus Vance had just done something quite unusual for someone seeking re-election. He ordered a halt to his campaign fundraising in the face of embarrassing questions about some of the people who have ponied up to keep him in office. Over the past few days, I've learned that it's not enough for me to have confidence in my independence from donors. The people of New York deserve to be confident about it as well, Vance said in an op-ed piece in which he also announced an independent review of his fundraising apparatus. It came as the long-term prosecutor running unopposed suddenly found himself in the eye of an ethics storm, questioned about not bringing charges against public figures accused of crimes, Harvey Weinstein, Bill de Blasio, questions about contributions from their legal teams or their firms.
There just has never been a campaign contribution that has influenced my thinking.
That was Vance last week as the Weinstein case made headlines, but apparently that wasn't enough.
There's certainly a cloud over the district attorney's office.
Manhattan Assemblyman Dan Quart introducing legislation to limit the money DAs can accept from lawyers and law firms that represent criminal defendants. Here's why. Vance has raised about $620,000 for this election. Published reports indicate at least $178,000 came from legal defense firms.
New Yorkers need to have faith that their district attorneys are making decisions on the merits and the facts and nothing else.